Oh, that's just lovely. All my audio got deleted. Shit. Okay then. What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Scrubbington here, and I hope you're having a good day so far because mine, I don't know, man. I don't know. All my audio just got friggin' deleted, and now I have to redo this. So, um, I don't know. There's nothing I can do about it. First off, I do apologize that this video is a little late, but it had to be because I had a school project that I absolutely needed to finish because guess who's a procrastinator? And because of that, I couldn't organize my script for this video earlier. But it's fine. It's not like these videos have to open up the new month. As long as I just do one of these every month, it's fine. I could do even more than that if I feel like it. It really doesn't matter. To be honest, I've been running late with pretty much everything on my channel recently. If you want to know why, take a look at my recent schedule. Also, since I'm just a 14-year-old faggot, I have school to go to. And I also need to sleep just like every other human. Not to mention, I do other things in my life too. So in the end, I'm really only getting about this much time out of every day to work on YouTube videos. As you can see, I have no freaking time to do anything. I don't think it even has to do with the amount of time I have. I think the one thing holding me back is the fact that Movie Maker is just so goddamn awful when it comes to mass producing YouTube videos. 6 hours at most out of every day to work on YouTube videos may seem like enough time to anyone with an actual editing software. When you're using something as shitty as Movie Maker, 6 hours is just not enough time. I'll get more into this later though. Right now I just want to say a couple things real quick. First of all, time. You better slow the hell down. I don't know how it's already May, but you gotta slow down, man. Jesus, stupid friggin' space time. Second, I just want to say thank you guys for 500 subscribers. We finally did it. We finally got to 500 scrubscribers. And I know that nowadays, 500 subscribers is basically nothing, but for a channel as small as mine, I'm getting somewhere. So thank you to everyone who enjoys watching my videos. You know, even if you don't watch that many of them, even if you've only seen a few so far, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you'll continue to enjoy this for as long as I keep making YouTube videos. So before I talk about how I've been doing this past month, I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you about how this hiatus during March actually happened, because I feel like I still haven't made myself clear enough. You're probably still confused because it seems like everything was fine in January and February, and then all of a sudden I just went into this phase out of nowhere, but that's not exactly the case. There is a backstory to all of this, so I'm gonna give you the full story, all the events from the past half a year or so, leading up to where I am today. Now, this is a little long, this is gonna take a little while to tell, and I know I said in the April video that I was gonna try to summarize everything better, but today, I feel like giving a lesson of some sort with this. So to begin, I don't think this actually started with the games that I haven't played in a long-ass time week like I previously said. It goes back much farther than that. It started off well in 2015, when everything was going alright, but it all began when I had a couple OCD moments in late November and December. I tried to rush my Let's Play Super Mario 3D Land so that I could get Sonic Colors in on time, but then I tried to rush Let's Play Sonic Colors in a matter of a few weeks so that I could get the Christmas videos in on time. But then I didn't have enough time to get the Christmas videos done, so I rushed them too, and I actually ended up editing them all during the Christmas break at my grandparents' place 4 states away, which we only visit every 2 years, so it kind of ruined that whole thing. I shut myself off from all of my relatives who I don't see that often. Going into 2016, January was kind of a cool down period. I got to relax a little bit, but then I decided to start playing Super Paper Mario. I wanted to play the game again after nearly 4 years of not touching it. However, for whatever reason, my OCD kicked in again, and I wanted to try to get the Let's Play done before the spring. After doing the Let's Play for a while, and remembering how long the game actually is, it came to a point when I was making so many videos that I was staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning trying to finish my homework. It was starting to become too much for me, and I decided that this Let's Play was definitely not going to be done before April. But the OCD was still there, and I still wanted to do the Let's Play as fast as possible. That feeling kept building up through February, and I kept losing more and more sleep along with it. I continued to put off my family and my friends more and more. I let my life become too self-centered. Then near the end of February, my OCD showed up again, and I decided that I wanted to do an event where I play games that I haven't played in quite a while. And it's always good to play a game that you haven't played in a long time, but I just felt like I absolutely needed to play these games again, or else it would just be like really bad for my channel. I originally wanted the event to take up the last week of February, but I was lagging behind with Super Paper Mario. I had to rush out out a couple Paper Mario videos before it, which caused me to only have the last 5 days of February open for this event. It wasn't supposed to be only 5 days and 5 games. I wanted it to be those last 7 days of the month, and I wanted it to be 6 games, but something happened where I couldn't play that 6th game. Something was broken, and because I tried to rush the other 5 videos, I had no time to try to fix the problem. Then Minecraft 1.9 was released right after the event, and I felt the need to try to make an update video explaining it, but at that point it was just too much for me to handle. I couldn't stand trying to rush a 6th video after those other 5, and then I began overthinking everything. It came to the point where I couldn't even record that 6th video. I tried a few times before just giving it up. My mind became too overwhelmed, and then I had a crash. March became a month when I fell into this state of apathetic overthinking, but I didn't stop during that whole thing. It seemed like I did, but I really didn't. I wanted to make a video explaining the crash I had, but after getting that apathetic sense, I had lost a lot of my motivation. The video ended up taking several days longer than I wanted it to because I was trying to give myself some time off from it all. Afterwards, another OCD moment ensued, and I felt the need to make a video for St. Patrick's Day. And I thought this time was going to be the time, right? I thought this time I wouldn't let any negativity take me over. But surely enough, the same thing happened. The video was recorded on Sunday the 13th, but it took me so long to edit it that I almost didn't even get it in time for St. Patrick's Day. That's because I hadn't given myself the proper amount of time off from the week before, and I started to overthink everything about the video. I had made several renderings of the video, and I even secretly uploaded 2 copies of the video just for trying to decide the volume of the background music, something so minuscule that shouldn't even have any thought put into it in the first place. After that video, I wanted to make a video explaining the things I wanted to improve on my channel and how it could stop all the overthinking. But the irony is that I overthought about that video as well. I got it done much faster than the other 2 videos before that, but I was still not properly recovered. I had uploaded that video twice as well, trying to decide on such small things like the volume of the background music once again. After that though, I started to prepare for spring break. I was beginning to feel better knowing that I had a week of no school coming up. I had figured out all of the videos I wanted to do over the break, and I felt like if I had enough motivation, I would be able to pull it off. But then there was one more problem. I had a school project to do that I had procrastinated on throughout all of March as I was going through that crash. I had put my own schoolwork off in spite of my videos, and by the time it was spring break, it was too late. I decided that the project was more important and that I wanted to do that before making any more videos. But with the April Fool's video and the 3rd update video that I wanted to do, I couldn't really do any other videos with the project in the way, and as I was also dwelling on the fact that I had to do a presentation on that project right after spring break, it kind of killed the mood for the week. It was the 2nd time that I had ruined a break off from school for myself, and it wasn't really as bad as the Christmas break before, but I still felt like I wasn't able to make the most out of the week, and in the end, all of this was really just a bunch of negative moments, one after the other, each one having a lack of time to get it done caused by the one before it. It came to this point where my sleep cycle was thrown way off course, and I wasn't eating or drinking as much, and as a result, I began overreacting to everything, even some of the smallest of things. By the end of it all, my perception of time was warped, my sense of motivation was almost gone, and my ability to enjoy making YouTube videos was almost destroyed. And the truth is, the only reason all of this happened was me. I was my only reason for doing all of these things, for letting that feeling of not having enough time take over my mind, for not seeing the positive side in things. It never had to be that way, but by the time I realized that, it was too late to fix my mistakes. From then on, I would just have to look back at all the positive things I got from the whole crash, the things I learned about making my life better, and just take those things and move on with them. And that brings us into April. Now here's where I want to talk about everything that's been happening for the last month or so. Once again, I tried to sort all of these ideas out as best as possible, but I don't really think they have to be in any specific order. I'm just going to say them all, and I hope you can get something out of them. So there's a few things that happened last month that weren't particularly good on my part. I did some things that went against what I've said throughout March, but all in all, I think the month went well, because every time I had one of those incidents, I just calmed down, and I recalled recalled those things that I had said in March, and I got rid of the bad feelings quickly. I didn't have any bouts of depression like I did in March. I corrected myself, and now I'm realizing that those things that I said in March are actually very true. I didn't realize this until like yesterday, but I came up with a lot of things to say for this video, even more than the other talking videos like this one. I had to kind of summarize everything and cut some things out, but I feel like I eventually want to say those things, so I might make another video like this one later in the month, kind of readdressing everything I'm going to say in this video. Anyways, let's get into this. So first of all, I've been thinking about this during April as I was editing my videos, and here it is. So I've been seeing recently that it's taking me longer and longer to make videos. I feel like I'm just getting worse at it, like I'm burning myself out. I guess trying to make a ton of YouTube videos using crappy software on top of going to school and having homework and projects to get done will do that to you. But let's not go there just yet. When it comes to recording videos, I feel like it's always the end. It's always the end that ruins the whole thing for me. And that's because I'm always sitting there for an hour trying to finish it, but I can't because my vocal cords are killing me and I can't speak properly. It's not even that I don't drink water, it's just that I don't take any breaks to reset my vocal cords and they get worn out. You know, talking for 2 hours straight isn't really good for your vocal cords, but I gotta finish the video somehow. I'm not just gonna stop the recording until the next day just so I can say the outro. That's stupid. Sometimes it's the beginning of the video that can be hard to get down if I'm not feeling at my best, like when I come up with all the clever things to say at the intro. But usually I feel better as I play the game, you know, I usually get into my zone and I start to enjoy playing the game. But the end almost always just kills the entire feeling that I had during the video, and then when I'm done I don't edit the video for 5 days because I don't want anything to do with it after that. Now, something else along the lines of this actually happened near the second week of April that I didn't particularly like that much. You see, I got the 4 videos for that week recorded, and I originally intended to get them up the next day after I recorded them, so I had this kind of cycle planned out. But then I ended up procrastinating with them. I got caught up with some schoolwork that week, and I felt like I could get them done easily if I paced myself. Not so much, though. That's one of the major side effects of procrastination, is that you feel like you can get something done quick, so you just put it off until later. Well, I mean, that's actually what procrastination is, but I also feel like it was a byproduct of that feeling I talked about before, how I kind of lose my motivation after recording a video because I'm always dead by the end of it and I just don't edit the video for a week. And while these videos obviously have no deadlines, I really wanted to try to get them done before the second week of April so that I could work on my project for school and so I could have some time off, because I never really gave myself any during March. Like I said, it seems like I did, but I was secretly busy all of March because it took me a week at a time to make a video for whatever reason. Anyways, I put the videos off until the weekend and they kind of took over. They were basically the only thing I did all weekend, even on Monday of that second week that I said I was going to take off. Now, it wasn't really bad or anything because I wasn't planning to upload another video until April 20th anyway, and also it's not like I rushed the videos. I still tried to make them as best as possible, but in doing this, I realized that it's actually easy to make videos relatively fast and still make them as good as Movie Maker will allow me. I can't do it that fast because Movie Maker is really just terrible, but if I get myself into it, it becomes really easy to forget what time it is as I'm making the video. So I took it as another lesson. I looked at what I did wrong, in this case I procrastinated, and I thought about how I could prevent that in the future, which would be to not procrastinate and just make the video. That way I can have all the free time I want afterwards. But on the other side of the spectrum, I feel like I should just accept that things take time. Sometimes we don't have a lot of time in the day and we need to get other things done. Like I've said before, there's always going to be more important priorities in life than making YouTube videos, such as school or work or even seeing family or friends. But if I want something to turn out good, then I just need to stop worrying if it takes me until 5 o'clock in the evening to finish recording a video. I think it just has to do with the kind of person I am. I've always been rather impatient. In fact, I think that's the reason I tense up when I'm recording. It's because I may not feel this way on the outside, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I must be constantly worrying about how long the video is going to take me. I feel like I think that way because I expect the video to be done at a reasonable time, like 3:30, but then it takes an extra hour or whatever, and nobody likes it when something doesn't go as expected. But I should just stop worrying about how many hours left in the day I'm going to have when I finish. I realized that 3:30 actually isn't a very reasonable time. When it comes to this stuff, 5 o'clock is reasonable, especially if I had school that day. It shouldn't bother me if it takes 3 hours to get down, even if I'm struggling just trying to sound like a normal human. I'm sure things of this nature sometimes take 3 days to get down, but people get it done, and they make sure they're satisfied with it. The higher quality something is, the more time it's going to take to create it, and I can't let something like that stop me from making the video altogether. As I've said plenty of times before, this is a skill that I need to build, and the only way I can get better is if I keep practicing and keep trying different things, and hopefully one day I won't have to repeat myself 100 times trying to say one line for 30 minutes straight. But until then, I just gotta remember, things like this take a little while sometimes, and I can't help it if I have school to go to first, and when you add those two things together in one day, there's not many hours left to do other things. But hey, there's always another day to do something. Except for when the world ended 3 years ago, but everybody's recovered from that by now. But seriously, that's another thing I keep overlooking, is that there's always another day to do something or to finish something. It doesn't matter when the video gets uploaded, as long as it's good and it actually does get uploaded. You know, it's another part of my strange OCD that's just like, I have to get this done today or that today, when in reality it doesn't matter at all. If something doesn't go good one day, or if I didn't finish something, then I just do it the next day, that's all. But usually I get over it a couple hours after I finish the video. Sometimes I overthink and I wish it could have gone a little bit better at the end, but then again, there's always another time. You know, I could have done this, or I could have done that. We can't change the past, so why even try to fix things like that when we can just make it better the next time? I do this every time, though. Every time I record a video, I'm enjoying it, I'm having a good time, and then if it takes me until like 5 o'clock in the evening to finish it, I start overthinking and worrying, and I just feel like the whole thing is ruined. But then a couple hours later, I realize that it's pointless to react like that, because good things take time and all, and sometimes things go wrong, but we can't change that. And then I start editing it, and I see that the video is actually pretty good if I just edit it, and by the end of the day, I'm asking myself why I even got so upset about it in the first place. You know, when something goes wrong, you start thinking about words like could've, would've, should've, I should've done this, or I could've done that. But you can't think like that. And I will admit, when something goes wrong for me, I start dwelling on it for a while, and I start thinking about those words, and I'll admit, I'm an overreactor. I sometimes almost break things. I'm one of those people who reacts to things a bit differently from most people. Like, for example, this video, the audio got permanently deleted, and then I had to redo a lot of it. And I was pretty pissed. I mean, I was about to do something bad to something or someone. There's nothing worse than when you're doing something on your computer, and then just as you think everything's going perfect, you lose it when the program crashes because you forgot to save it along the way. I think all of us get pretty pissed at that. Nobody likes it when things go wrong. I mean, why would you like it when something goes wrong? And it takes me a little while, but once I've cooled off after a day and I'd realized how much of a frigging idiot I was before, I always find that whatever went wrong wasn't really that bad, and if I can fix the mistakes, or if I can find a positive side to it, like if I can find a workaround to it, then it's all fine. You know, could've, would've, should've, all those are in the past. They're unchangeable, so don't keep dwelling on it. Instead of saying should've, you gotta say, I should do this next time, or instead of could've, say, I could do this instead of that. If something goes wrong one day, it, dude. There's 30 other days in the month. There's 364 other days in the year that you can make up for it. Take what you can learn from whatever went wrong and just move on with it, because there's always a way to prevent it from going wrong again in the future. There's always a lesson to be learned, such as this video, in which case I learned that I should definitely be saving the voice recording as I'm doing it, in case Audacity decides to become an hero and frigging kills itself. So now here's some things about what's gonna go on in the near future, and how I'm working with some plans that I couldn't get to. So about that new microphone that I got a month ago, if it isn't obvious enough, I just decided to return it and get the money back for now. It's not that I don't like the microphone, I'm sure it's a great microphone and all, but the thing is, I couldn't really get it to sound that good, and if I want any kind of studio quality, I'm gonna have to buy even more expensive equipment, and on top of Sony Vegas Pro, it would just be too much. So the game plan has changed up a bit. I'm gonna try to get Vegas Pro first, and then I'll get the second monitor. The microphone can honestly wait. My headset microphone is actually pretty good, especially when I fix it up with Audacity, so I can honestly do with this for now. As I've said before, it's really just because of my house and the area I live in. I live in a busy part of town, and it doesn't help that my house's walls aren't exactly soundproof. However, after I've gotten Vegas Pro and the second monitor, I'll definitely look into improving my microphone game. Maybe I'll buy back the microphone I just returned. I'll probably look for an even better one, but that's not going to be for quite a while though. Now, as for the comment crusades and on on eBay today that I know you guys desperately want to see. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna bother trying them at this point. I've actually been trying to avoid the conspiracy theorists as much as I can, because I feel like it's best just to leave them alone in their own retarded frame of mind. You know, when you're trying to get them to think straight, all you're really doing is just making the problem worse. They're way too stubborn, and if we keep provoking them, they're just gonna keep spreading their retarded thoughts and false claims backed with absolutely no real evidence. The most important thing is that we know they're just a bunch of socially inept retards, and that us normal people are too smart for them. Half of them are probably just trolls trying to sound all edgy anyway. Maybe I'll cover something in the future if I find an interesting or funny conversation with one of them, but for now I'm just gonna leave the idea to the side. As for the on eBay today with the Bionicle listings and stuff, I'm really not sure how well it would go, because I can't really seem to find that many ridiculous Bionicle listings these days. There definitely seems to be a lot less than there were back when Ven did the original series a few years ago. Just like the Comet Crusades, I don't think I'll be able to get to it anytime soon, but I'll keep the idea to the side and maybe one of these days I can make it work. To be honest, it's really just about the fact that I have no time to do it. Honestly, being in advanced classes in high school really takes away a lot of my time. Just trying to put out regular videos is kinda tough for me. Maybe I'll try them during the summer after I finish my Super Paper Mario series, and maybe I'll wait until I get Vegas Pro, but until then, I think it's just gonna be the regular video games and such. Now, remember what I said earlier about how Movie Maker is the one thing keeping me from making the videos I want to? Well, I have some good news right here. I might actually be closer to buying Vegas Pro than I thought. This year, my relatives were generous enough to give me all their weekly earnings for Easter. Basically, I could be less than a month away from getting an actual editing software. And also, I guess when I'm trying to live in the present and trying to deal with what I have right now, and trying to work with the low-end software I have right now, it's kinda easy to forget that it won't be this way forever. Eventually, all of this Movie Maker bullcrap that I have to deal with every time I make a video will end. It doesn't have to be this way forever, and it won't. I'm closer to getting a real editing software than I even thought I was, and once that happens, it'll be a great relief. I'll feel so relieved because all of the troubles I have to fight through every time I edit a video with that horrible spawn of Satan software Movie Maker will all be gone, and I'll never have to deal with any of it ever again in my life. Right now I'm at this peak. I'm at a point where I have too many ideas to put them all into action because of how limited the software I use is. But once I get Sony Vegas Pro, everything will be a smooth ride, and I'll finally be able to bring all of my ideas into reality. While it is true that right now I just have to fight through it all, that doesn't mean I can't look forward to the day when it'll all be over. We have to live in the present and not worry about the future, but we can hope for the future, and we can hope for good things to come out of the future. Because the thing is, the past is unchangeable, but the future is changeable. The only thing that matters is that you stay positive and you keep your spirits high, and then the future will be as good as the present. Also, something else to add on here. So I've got a bunch of games that have been sitting on my shelf for many months and I haven't even played them yet. I've got to play other games that I haven't played in a while, and I've also got to get back into the rhythm of playing Super Paper Mario more often. I've also got a lot of Game Grumps to watch. I'm still like half a year behind. I've got a lot of catching up to do. There's a lot of things to do, but not enough time to do them all. But remember how I said that if April was kind of shabby, we would make May even better? Well, let's do that. Let's make this May even more productive than April. I've got a lot to do, but I can assure you, May is going to be the best month of 2016 yet. We can't play all the games in the world, so let's make the most we can out of this month. And whatever we don't do in May, we'll do it in June. The cycle will just keep going on. So in conclusion, time is going by too fast these days. We can't afford to worry about the future or try to recreate the past. Let's just live in the present and make the most out of the time we have right now while it still lasts. That's all for now, everybody. Have a good day, and I'll catch you in another video. See you later, everybody.